Well, we had an assignment for creative writing that was to write a free verse persona poem. And a persona poem is where you kind of step out of bounds of what you know and then you take on the persona of someone else. So as I was sitting there trying to think about what persona to take on, I remembered my grandfather who had Alzheimer's, and how he would just sit in his chair at Richfield and stare out the window and not say anything, because after a certain amount of time he just stopped talking. And like my mom would like bring him things, and one of the things that she would bring him in Richfield was cornbread, and he would just like nod and go, "Cornbread," but other than that, that was all he said. So that really interested me, and I wondered what things were going on in his head, so that's what inspired that poem. I had to cut some stanzas, but I think what's in the magazine is a good summation of what I wanted. So I wouldn't change anything. I really like the way it turned out, and I really like the way the entire spread turned out. I think it looks really nice. I guess just trying not to be repetitive with the spiders, because I wanted to make spider imagery the main kind of motif in that poem, but I didn't want it to get to the point where it was overwhelming. And just like trying to phrase things the way I was picturing them in my head, so like spiders digesting the sun, and like the shadows become kind of like the spiders in their silk. So just kind of trying to phrase all of that correctly so that whoever's reading it could understand more clearly what I was trying to say, and like immediately go, "Oh, that cloud is like a spider when it digests the sun," just stuff like that. Ooh, that's hard. I'm so proud of that poem. I really love all of it. I don't know if I have a favorite part, but one of my more favorite parts about it would probably be like the two tiny stanzas that I have where it's like the spiders like sewed my lips shut, and then just that part. I really like that part because that's exactly what I thought that Alzheimer's was doing to my grandfather, because he wouldn't say very many things. So I thought that was an interesting image that I came up with. Well, for people who have family members that are suffering from Alzheimer's or dementia, just that they don't mean to be the way that they are, even if they seem cold and distant, like spiders sewed their lips shut. It's not their fault. It's just the disease. So be patient and still spend time with them and love them, because they won't be around forever.
Well, previously I had photographed the flowers while they were bright and vibrant, so I decided to let them die. And then, after they had died and browned after a couple weeks, I decided to hang them from the ceiling, and that's what created the depth of field and the picture itself, because they were hung from the ceiling. I don't think I would. I really enjoy it. I think that every picture I take is intentional. Getting them hung from the ceiling. It was so hard to find the string to get them hung, so hard to get the string to the ceiling, because it's like a 10-foot ceiling, and I am only 5'5". That is not very tall. I really like the depth of field, how it's focused very centrally, and then you can still see the flower as it blurs out, but it also fades to black. I think the picture shows that there's beauty in something that isn't bright and perfectly new. how people usually like love, like, let's say fresh flowers, but like there's beauty in these dead flowers, dying flowers. So that's it.